Welcome back. So in the last video, I ended with, me finishing college at Xavier University of Louisiana, XU. And so from there, I'll tell you about my journey to medical school. It's a pretty crazy ride. So I got to my senior year, and I took the MCAT. So that's the medical college admissions test. And that's an entrance exam that you have to take in order to get into medical school. So I took the MCAT. I did okay, and I ended up getting one interview for medical school that year. And it was like, it wasn't the school that I wanted. Okay, we're just gonna say that. It wasn't the school that I wanted. So I got that one interview. I went and did the interview. And during the interview, the person that was interviewing me told me that I needed to retake the MCAT because I wasn't competitive enough. And I was like, I don't really think I want to do that. So bad. And so needless to say, I did not get into medical school on that go round. I mean, I didn't have time by the time of the interview to retake the MCAT anyway, to where it would help me get in. But I was just really like, I don't want to do that. So it took some time of me going back to the drawing board and figuring out like, okay, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to go to med school? I was like, look, this is what we're going to do. I am going to take the MCAT one more time, apply to med school one more time. My heart's desire was to be a physician and to get trained at Morehouse School of Medicine. So I held tight to that. I remember, going back, studying for the MCAT again. And then this time, I waited a little bit because I wanted to study a little bit more. And it's so funny, like my family is just like the best. My mom and my paternal grandmother, my dad's mother, they actually drove me to Savannah, Georgia to go and take the MCAT. I'm in a test and they just riding around Savannah, just parlaying, having a blast. But I took the test. I did better than the first time I took it. And I just left it there. I get 2 interviews this time. So remember, last time I got 1 interview and I didn't get in. This time I got 2 interviews. Okay. One of those interviews was my dream school. One of those interviews was Morehouse School of Medicine. Okay. And then the other interview was the school that I had interviewed the previous year that I didn't want to go to. And so, I'm like ecstatic. I'm like, oh my God. I got 2 interviews this time. So the first interview that I got was the school that I got the year prior. And I got that interview, went on it, and I got an admissions decision like within a few weeks. And at the time, that was the only prospect I had. So I accepted. But then late at the midnight hour, I got an interview offer for my dream school, Morehouse School of Medicine. I interviewed for Morehouse. I got put on the wait list. I'm like, dang, I can't catch a break. I just really want to go to this school. So, so I get waitlisted. So of course I'm like, a little bummed, but I'm also like, shoot, I got an acceptance this time. I'll take it. I'm gonna go to the other school. So I go and, I scope out where I'm gonna live at in this other place. I am, packing up all my stuff. I'm getting ready to leave I'm packing up all my stuff. Like I'm laying out, organizing all my stuff for how I'm gonna pack it in the car the next day. Because the next day I am getting ready to head out to the town, the state, city, where I got accepted at. I got this call. I think I was going to the store or something. I was going to say bye to somebody. I don't know. I was doing something. I was in the car and I got this call. I was on my way back home to go finish packing up my stuff. And I got a call from the admissions counselor telling me they were giving me a spot off the waiting list to come and go to Morehouse School of Medicine. That was like one of the best days of my life because that was literally my dream coming to fruition. And I just remember being like so over the moon happy because my dream was realized. Like, you know, again, I could have been, you know, down in the dumps. I could have let that wait list be a deterrent. Like, I mean, I almost did because I was getting ready to go to school. But and it just goes to show you that like whatever you want, you can have it. It's possible. I told y'all. I believe that I can have it all because I was created to do so. And my life has shown me that time and time and time and time again. From, you know, getting into schools, getting in school after school, program after program. And so, yeah, so I got into my dream medical school. I had a great time, had a blast, met great people. And so, yeah, so I got into Morehouse School of Medicine. And I had a really good time. In fact, my first year of medical school, a few months into medical school, right after my white coat ceremony, I met my significant other. And the following year, I got pregnant. And my third year is when I had my first child. I had my son Wade, our son Wade. And that was an interesting time, honestly. And that's another big part of this journey for me. And why I'm so passionate about sharing my story and showing you what is possible and you know, showing you why it's so important to ignore, you know, the deterrence or the potential deterrence and you know, all of the things that you absorb as being negative and using it to bring out positive things in your journey. When I told, you know, when I let people know that I was pregnant, I was met with like bombarded with so many questions. Like people were asking me, well, you know, are you going to finish school? Are you going to still be a doctor? Like, how are you going to do that? Are you sure you want to do that? How much time are you going to take off? Is there going to be enough time? And I was just like, oh my God, y'all, leave me alone. And it was so crazy because I'm like, clearly you guys don't know me. Like, all these people asking me these questions, you don't know Charisse. You don't know Charisse Graham because you would not ask me that question. And so I was met with all of that. Like, people were like, oh, are you going to finish on time? Like, just all types of stuff. And I could have let that stress me out, but I didn't. And guess what your girl did? So I did what I had to do. I told the people that needed to be told at my school. And we hashed out a plan. We planned out what rotations I was going to take when. They allowed me to, because at first I had a block. We were assigned blocks for when we're going to do rotations. And at first the block that I had was not very conducive to pregnancy and delivery. So we switched my blocks. And it worked out. And guess what? I finished medical school on time. My 4th year, I graduated with my class. I passed all my step exams in med school, passed all my shelf exams in med school, got my medical diploma, got my doctorate of medicine on time. Amidst all the questions and concerns that were unsolicited. So again, whatever it is that you want, whatever dream you have, whatever goal you have, it's yours. Go get it. You can have it all because we were created to do so. I keep saying that. It's true. And then, okay, next part of the journey, residency. So I decided I was going to be a pediatrician. I can talk to you more about that later. I won't get into all the details of why I became a pediatrician. Ultimately, it was in order to impact youth. But I did my pediatrics residency. I did it at Morehouse School of Medicine and went through residency. Pediatrics residency is 3 years. My third year of residency, I had my second child, my daughter. And again, people were like, oh, are you going to finish residency? Oh, what are you going to do? I'm going to finish. I'm going to do what I need to do. And at the time, I also decided, during residency, I also decided that I wanted to specialize in adolescent medicine. I decided after some mentoring that I was going to go to fellowship, and I started interviewing, and people were like, how are you going to go to fellowship? Because at the time I was living in Georgia for residency, and my family was in Georgia with me, but they weren't going to, there was no fellowship for adolescent medicine. There still is no fellowship for adolescent medicine at this time in Georgia. So I would have to go out of state. And my family was not coming with me out of state. So I would be staying away from them. But I knew what I had to do. So I applied to fellowship. I interviewed in other states. And I got into my dream program, which I'm currently a part of now. And it's actually in a neighboring state. And so when I'm, during my fellowship duties, I commute to and from Georgia to Alabama. People think I'm crazy for that. But I have a mission. I have a dream. I have a goal. I have a plan. So that's what I do. And it works for me. Again, you can have it all. We can have it all because we're created to do so. If you get nothing else from me, I want you to get that. And so currently, like I said, I'm a fellow in adolescent medicine. And I am doing what I love, what I'm passionate about. And what my journey has shown me is that, everything works out when you're in alignment with your divine purpose, when your passion and your purpose go hand in hand and are aligned. I'm a testament to that. Again, dreams, goals. You have a dream, you take a dream, you make it a goal, you plan it out, and there it is. Manifestation at its finest. And if you think I'm super crazy, stay tuned. Keep watching. Because there's literally always something. I always have something up my sleeve. Please make sure to hit the subscribe and follow me, and tell a friend to tell a friend to check me out. Remember, we can have it all because we were created to do so.